Hey, DataCat here. For years, let's just say I was a well-fed house cat in a very large corporate building, a Fortune 50 company to be exact. I was an analyst. My job was to spend 12 hours a day chasing data points instead of laser dots, trying to make sense of it all for people in much more expensive suits. Now I've traded the corner office for this. It's an upgrade. The food's worse, but the naps are infinitely better. I started this channel to do the one thing I'm good at, cutting through the noise and looking at the raw data. No hype, no sales pitch. So let's get straight to it. Most intelligent investors, even those with good degrees, are unknowingly leaving significant money on the table. Or worse, exposing themselves to unnecessary risks simply because they misinterpret the hype around AI defense stocks. They either chase the wrong names based on headlines, or completely miss the underlying signals of a real opportunity. It's a blind spot costing portfolios dearly right now. And in this video, I'm going to give you the full, unvarnished breakdown of one company that's been causing a lot of chatter and is now called the next Palantir. That's BigBear.ai, ticker BBAI. We're going to look at the data, not the drama. Look, if you're short on time, here's the one thing you need to know. BBAI's recent volatility is the direct result of the market trying to price in its transition from a speculative government contractor to a proven, Palantir-like technology provider with major international reach. The key question is whether its financials can support that new valuation. That's the whole story in a nutshell. So you probably saw the chart. BBAI went on a tear earlier this year, hitting around $10 a share back in February. Now it's taken a bit of a catnap, hovering around $7.50. The question is, what actually happened? What drove that initial surge, and what does the current price tell us? It wasn't just one thing. It was a confluence of events, a perfect storm of catalysts that made the market sit up and pay attention. First, they announced a major partnership to enter the United Arab Emirates market. Now you might hear UAE and think oil, but their partners EasyLease and Vigilix are in sectors like motorcycle leasing and point-of-sale technology. It seems random, right? Like a cat trying to befriend a goldfish. But this isn't about selling motorbikes. This is about establishing a beachhead. It's a strategic move to get their foot in the door of a major international market, signaling that their core technology is seen as valuable far beyond US borders. The second catalyst is, for me, the most important one. They announced successful biometric deployments. In plain English, this means their technology is no longer just a PowerPoint slide or a promising prototype. It's live, it's operational, it's being used in the real world for high-stakes security missions. For an investor, this is a massive de-risking event. It's the difference between betting on an architect's blueprint and betting on a skyscraper that's already standing. And these two developments, the global reach and the proven tech, created a story the market could not resist, the next Palantir narrative. You know how this works. Wall Street loves a simple, powerful story. Palantir is the big, established beast in the AI defense and intelligence space. So investors are constantly prowling for the next one. When BBAI showed real-world tech deployment and serious global ambition, the market collectively said, aha, maybe this is it. This is where you have to be extremely careful as an investor. This narrative is what directly affects your retirement timeline. If BBAI actually becomes a genuine peer to Palantir, the current share price is a deep bargain. If it's just hype, then anyone buying at the peak is going to feel that pain. So, is the technology any good? Let's look past the buzzwords and see what they actually do. Their product suite is what Wall Street doesn't want retail investors to understand, because it's complex, but it's the key to the whole valuation. They focus on a few areas that are very similar to Palantir's playbook. First is AI orchestration. Imagine you're a military commander trying to listen to 100 different radios at once. You have data streaming in from satellites, from drones, from sensors on the ground. It's just noise. AI orchestration is the system that pulls all that chaos together into one clear, coherent picture, allowing for real-time decision-making. It's about creating total situational awareness from chaos. Second is predictive intelligence. This is primarily their VANE system, which stands for Virtual Anticipation Network. Think of it as creating a digital twin of a conflict zone or a geopolitical landscape. They can run thousands of simulations to predict what an adversary might do next, or how a political crisis could unfold. It's like knowing where the mouse is going to run before it even leaves the wall. Finally, there's cybersecurity and computer vision. This is about anomaly detection. Teaching a computer to watch thousands of hours of video feeds and instantly spot the one thing that's out of place. The one person who shouldn't be there, the one vehicle that's on the wrong road. A good story and cool tech are nice. But in the corporate world I escaped from, the only thing that truly matters is the purchase order. Contracts are what separate a real business from a science project, and BBAI has been landing some very significant ones. They were awarded a 3.5-year, $13.2 million contract for their Orion platform. This system integrates data from all branches of the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, and gets them to, actually talk to each other and see the same strategic picture. Then there's the Vane system I just mentioned. Yes, that predictive intelligence tool. The Department of Defense's Chief Digital and AI Office, the CDAO, awarded them a dedicated contract to scale Vane from a prototype to a full deployment. This is a massive vote of confidence. Getting an award from the CDAO also places them on the TradeWinds marketplace, which is essentially a pre-approved vendor list for the entire US government. It makes it much easier for other agencies to buy their tech. And the big one, a 5-year sole source prime contract worth over $160 million with the US Army. The key phrase there is sole source. That means the Army decided that BigBear.ai was the only company that could do the job. They didn't even open it up for bidding. That is a powerful statement about their technological moat. Now for the numbers. Q1 2025 revenue hit around $35 million, up about 5% year over year. Not explosive, but it's steady growth. They did post a net loss of $62 million. That sounds bad, but it's nearly half of what they lost in the same quarter last year. It shows they're getting their costs under control. They're not just burning cash like a kitten with a new roll of toilet paper. But then this is what really matters. The contract backlog. As of the end of March 2025, their backlog soared by 30% to $385 million. A backlog is the total value of signed contracts they have yet to deliver on or be paid for. It is the single best indicator of future revenue. On top of that, their cash position is up to $108 million and they've cut long-term debt by $58 million. These are the vital signs of a company getting its financial house in order. So what does this all mean for you, the investor, looking at this stock? The US defense budget is not shrinking. Spending on technology-driven defense and intelligence platforms is a major priority. BBAI is positioning itself directly in the path of that fire hose of government money. The long-term question is about a market re-rating. For years, Palantir was seen as this weird, secretive company. Then the market finally understood its business model, and the stock's valuation multiple expanded permanently. BBAI is on the very beginning of that potential path. That $385 million backlog is the first major clue. So is BBAI the next Palantir? Look, I'm just a cat with a keyboard, I don't have a crystal ball. But the data shows a company with proven technology, deep government trust, a rapidly growing backlog of future revenue, and improving financials. The volatility you're seeing is the market wrestling with that reality. The risk is execution. Can they deliver on that backlog efficiently? Can they continue to win these large sole source contracts? That is what you need to watch. If you found this breakdown useful, do me a favor and bat that like button. And subscribe if you want more no-nonsense analysis from a former corporate drone. Let me know in the comments what you think about BBAI, or if there's another company you want me to tear into. Now if you'll excuse me, I see a sunbeam that requires my immediate and undivided attention. See you next time.